spreading some more wisdom on life lessons, on how I got to where I'm at today. I wanted to shed on something that's gonna be really hard for a lot of people to hear, but I don't like to give advice on things that I really just don't know nothing about. I just tell y'all things that I experienced in my life and how it got me to where I'm at today, okay? So one of the hardest things that you'll ever have to realize on your path to developing yourself, becoming a better person, creating a life that you want to create, raising your energy, your vibrations, and just being in an overall better state of mind than being in a depressed. Hold on. I work here in the city, so you're gonna hear sirens all the time. Anyways, there's gonna come a time where you're gonna need to cut somebody off, okay? You're gonna need to understand the importance of cutting people off who aren't serving you in your life. And if they aren't serving you in a way that's going to help improve your life, get you to where you're trying to go in life, get you to the people that you're trying to meet and be around so you can become who you want to be, if they aren't trying to help you progress, you're going to have to cut them off. Or you're going to have to spend less time around them. But what I really wanted to touch on is when you have to start cutting off people who are supposed to be the closest to you, right? And I mean, it might even come to a point where you need to start cutting family off. You might have to cut off a sister, brother, cousin. You might even have to cut off sometimes your own dad. Sometimes you might need to take a break from mom, whatever it is, but there might come a time where you need to actually cut some people off that you would have never thought that you might have to cut them off in your life. So that way you can heal this up here and you can get on the path to becoming a better you and developing into who you really want to be. And now what do I mean by that? Why would you have to cut off a family member? I'll just tell it to you like it is. If they are just doing everything to break you down mentally, and they're just consuming things in life that's just not healthy, smoking, watching too much mainstream news medias, being toxic, assaulting you, abusing you, whether that's mentally or physically. If they're just consistently doing things like that, you might have to cut them off. Especially if you're over 18 and you can leave the house. I mean, for a long time in my life, I didn't have that option. I mean, I guess you can say I did have that option, but even when I was like really young, I was trying to figure out even ways to just emancipate myself so I could just, be on my own and be away from toxic environments. It got like that, So you got to be able to identify when even your own family members are actually the toxicity within your life. See, my life really started to amplify and get better when I started to cut off family like that. There's a lot of reasons and a lot of things, and that, you know, a lot of certain details I don't want to get too much into right now about my life, but, you know, there is a time where my sister just running around the streets and stuff, hanging around people that just weren't good for, you know, trying to become a better person or anything, not doing anything, not trying to progress in life, just shooting the shit, you know, pop open a tall boy, not contributing anything to becoming a better, you know, human being and trying to improve on things, you know, in their adult age. And there's many reasons for, you know, the things that happen, but, you know, my sister ended up slipping into homelessness, and I'm struggling with stuff at home that I gotta go through and handle. And it's like, you're not there to help me, but you're asking me for help for certain things. And, you know, you gotta be able to tell people that, look, I can't help right now, or, you know, I'm stuck here doing this. I need help, you know? But if they're just doing things to kind of, that just aren't contributing to you becoming a better person, that kind of stuff is just gonna hold you back. See, me, when I realized that the toxicity was just getting too much, I was like, oh no, I need to get up out of here. Okay, I'm gonna get up out of here by any means. I don't care where I gotta go, what I gotta do now. But when I turn 18, I'm gone. And that's exactly what I did. When I turned 18, I was like, I'm gone. I'm out of here. Not looking back. Joined the military. Had a whole 6 years in that. That's a whole other thing to get into. But, you know, you might have to get away like that. And see, when you just come from poverty and you don't have any other family members really that you can go to that'll help you out, and it's really just you got to make that decision. I'm not going to say it's going to be the best decision, but you got to make one to get out of environments like that. You know, I didn't really get along very well with my dad. I didn't agree with a lot of the things that how he treated us and how he treated me, and I didn't get along with it. And I didn't agree with it. So I was like, all right, I don't agree with it. I'm going to leave. And that's just the bottom line. It's like, see, to me, there's only so many times and so many chances that I'm going to give you, even if it's my own family. Okay? I tried many times to repair and improve our relationship. Just never worked, you know? I do think that there's things that people do too that are just unforgivable. Well, let me just say, I don't want to say unforgivable. I have forgave them for things that happened, and that was something I had to do personally that took a long time. But you don't have to allow them into your life the same way, you know, you were before or anything. Like, you don't have to allow people to be in your life if they aren't going to contribute to you becoming the person that you want to be. And sometimes people do things that you just, in your mind, you're like, I can't be around that. You got to have a standard for yourself. You got to have standards. And you need to also have boundaries. Boundaries and standards. You need those two things. Because if you don't have those two things, you will just let people walk all over you, including your family. And, you know, if you just let your own family just walk all over you, they'll just take advantage of you. I'm just being real. If they're like that. See, there's things that happen in my life. Like, I love my sister, but we got to stay a certain distance away because, you know, it's like trying to get her life back together. I was helping her get her life back together when I got to a point where I could do that. See, when I got to a place in my life where I started making more money, I'm more mentally prepared to handle struggles and difficult decisions in life. You know, it's like I could just keep giving you money that you just keep asking for. Or it's like, hold on a second. I had to straight up, like last year, I had to straight up. Sometimes people, they're just asking for too much money, right? You gotta be able to say, hold on. Like, no, I'm essentials. I will help you out with if it's needed. But if it's non-essentials, it's like, yo, you gotta do something too. I got to where I'm at in life because I put in the work to be here. Nobody told me to do that. I did that myself because I wanted a better life. And if you were going to get in my way, then you can leave. And if you don't want to leave, I'm going to leave. I will exit the place, the establishment. I don't need to be here. I do not need to be here anymore. Okay? See, the hardest part that your parents don't start to realize later on is that they're getting older. And they just, sometimes they get stuck in their ways. I'm just keeping it real with you. Sometimes they just get stuck in their ways and they're just not going to change. That's one of the biggest problems with older people, is that the thing that holds them back is that they hold themselves back because they cannot accept that something needs to change. They want to just stay in their own way. And I mean, if you just want to keep sitting in the quicksand and not trying to like figure out a way to get out and change what you're doing to get out, then I mean, I can't help you. So anyways, one of the hardest things to realize is that you need to set boundaries and you need to have standards, even with your own family members. And it's gonna hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you. See, some of y'all will never have to experience that, and I am happy for you. I really am. But that's not the case for me. And I know there's people out there, it's not the same case for you. And I'm really talking to y'all. There's nothing wrong with helping out your family members, but when they start to take advantage of you, you might need to stop that. And you might need to have like a real talk with them. Like, hey, I mean, I get that you need some money, but I mean, I also got things I need to take care of in life too. Y'all didn't set yourself up for retirement, and now that's gotta fall on me. That's what'll happen. They will try to put that on you. And you can either bear that weight or you don't have to. It's up to you. Me, I'm choosing to bear that weight. because I know that I can change the family trajectory real quick. It's just going to take some time. And not everyone is going to understand that in the moment. They're just going to be like, oh, you ain't trying to help me out, or like, you don't love us, or whatever. They don't really see the big picture. And that's going to happen a lot to y'all who just have that awareness, and you're building that awareness. When you get that awareness of like, this is what needs to happen in order for me to do this and that, bro, you are going to be so misunderstood, even by your own family. And that stuff's going to make you feel crazy. Which is why, if you really do need to, you need to cut them off if they are not helping you get to where you need to be at. You can't force people to understand the situation at hand. Sometimes it's going to be only you understand the situation at hand. So anyways, one of the hardest things that you'll ever realize in life is that if you want to get to certain somewhere, you might have to cut off even your own family members. I'm not saying it's forever, but it might have to be for a little while. Anyways, that's really the video for today. I hope that this video leads you to other channels that'll help you out and help you become the person that you want to be. And if I'm doing that for you, I hope I'll see you on the next one, all right? I got to get back to work. Peace.